All right, so we are officially live. Got started here a little bit early because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any problems getting set up. So we're just going to wait until actually 3 o'clock to get started. Thank you for joining. We're going to be getting started at 3 o'clock. So welcome to the Taranga YouTube channel. I'm really glad you're here today. What, I should be talking about something. I could talk about something for 3 minutes, couldn't I? Okay, I'm going to start with this. People did not come here for this, but I'm just going to say, for the record, that you might think there's more wildlife around right now because of the pandemic. And I just want you to know that it's pretty much the same amount of wildlife because there hasn't been enough time for gestation periods and stuff like that. So it's the same amount of wildlife. I think what happened is our habits changed, and when our habits changed, we started to see the wildlife that's been there sort of the whole time. So think about that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would be interested to see what people are noticing with local wildlife when this is all over and they go back to work and back to school. I'm wondering if people will still, hopefully, be noticing some of those things that they were noticing when they were quarantined at their house. So anyway, we're going to start at exactly 3 o'clock, and today's topic is going to be humane hazing. So I'm really excited about that. I got my table ready behind me. We're going to be having some good times here today, you guys. So, it's 2:59. 2:59. It is an amazing day today here. It is so bright that I had to close the shades because the sun is just like blinding in the room. It's pretty crazy. So last week it was cold. This week it's hot. You never know what it's going to bring here in Southern California. All right, 2:59 and counting. And bear with me today. I recently got braces, and so I am talking funny. So that's my story. Sticking to it. All right, it's officially 3 o'clock. So we are officially going to get started. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is going to be humane hazing. What? Did I just do something unexpected? Did it startle you a little bit? I hope so. That's my little introduction to humane hazing today. I'm Dana Stengel, and this is Taranga Ranch, and we do native wildlife education in the Southern California area. So one of the things that we teach about is actually a response to a lot of the questions that we get. So in an age where we are sharing our dog walks and our hikes with other wildlife that scares us, we have to think about what we can and should do to dissuade the wildlife that scares us. So I'm going to preface this with, I love wildlife. That's why I'm doing this. After one of my videos, someone was saying, oh, but don't scare wildlife, respect it. For me, this is the ultimate way to respect wildlife, because what happens when wildlife gets habituated is that habituated to people, meaning it's used to being where people are, a safe distance needs to be maintained, because as soon as that distance is not respected anymore, then people get afraid of wildlife, right? So if you're someone who's encouraging wildlife, but your neighbor is someone who's afraid of wildlife, when that wildlife tries to approach them, they may react differently than you did, right? And in my neck of the woods, people are not afraid to use poison, and they're not afraid to use traps, and they're not afraid to call the exterminator, and they're not afraid to call a trapper. So what I want to do is help people not be afraid to scare the wildlife that's scaring them, right? Scare it away. If it's in your space and you don't want it there, there's a humane way to get it out of your space. And the interesting thing is, most of these techniques are going to work with people as well, right? I accidentally did a typo on my page today, and someone said human hazing, and it's true. Most of the thing, when you watch what I do today, I want you to think about what would happen if you did these things to another human being walking down the street. What would the response be? Very similar to wildlife. But wildlife is a little different than humans, and it's already got this built-in fear, right? So humans don't really have that of each other. A little bit maybe, but wildlife is generally pretty afraid of humans unless a human has been feeding it, and that creates another story. So for today, we're going to talk about how do we dissuade wildlife from being where we are, right? Like, this is just sort of extending the bear whistle, right? That you use when you're hiking in the national park, right? It's sort of taking that idea and applying it to the more urban landscape. Because what I have encountered is people who are afraid to take their dog for a walk because there might be a coyote on the route. And that's a reality. There might be a coyote on the route. That is, in fact, it's a probability in many areas. So what can we do to dissuade the coyote from where we are? Because here's what happens. When coyote gets too comfortable, somebody becomes very afraid of the coyote. They call somebody in to take them all out. And then what happens is any coyotes that are left wind up usually having more babies the next season. So now you've got all these babies that don't know, they don't have anyone to train them how to exist in these areas. And then you have more issues. Whereas when you've got these animals that have been living here already, that know the ins and the outs and the ways around things, and they're generally avoiding humans, you just want to keep them avoiding humans. That's really all we're doing. So some people, like me, don't need a tool, right? I'm hiking, I'm walking. If someone approaches me, I'm going to be all crazy up in their I mean, I'm annoying even when I'm not trying to be annoying, right? I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be doing crazy gestures, I'm going to be all over the place. Doing the unexpected is what will throw a predator off, right? And I want to just disclaim that, because just because we saw an animal on our hike or on our walk doesn't mean it was a predator towards us. It doesn't mean it was thinking anything, because these animals do exist alongside of us all the time. And so many people are noticing that now with this quarantine, right? We're taking a minute to sit and look outside our window, and what do we see? Oh, now we see the bobcat. Now we see the coyote. Now we see the red-tailed hawk, right? We see animals we haven't seen before. They didn't just appear. They've been here the whole time, right? So, but we can't be afraid of them because they are literally just living their lives just like we are. So some of the things that you can do if your voice and your body are not enough, and that's fully understandable because a lot of people just are not, they're not busy using their bodies and their faces to annoy people. So it's harder for them. And I get that. So I've got tons of tools that are fun and annoying, and we're just going to demonstrate some of those like right now. So sorry about the focus. What's happening here? I'm not sure how this works. I hope you can still hear me. But I want to start with the teacher bell, right? Teacher bell, right? But if I'm on my walk, I've got my dog here next to me, and I've got this in my pocket or something. You could even have it just like that, right? And then you are, oh, I see it, right? Now it becomes a hazing device. So it's how you use it, and you need to have energy and you need to be committed to it. So that's one way you can haze wildlife. This is the old penny can. I really like this one. We started with this one a long time ago, but the tape gets unsticky, and what I don't like about it is I have to hold it in my hand. I like things that I can just put on my belt or have a handle or something. Or even there, I'm going to show you one that you can put around your neck. So then there's this one, right? So if you're biking, right, or even if you're not biking, this comes off the bike really easily. This you could put on a belt clip too, right? And we know what this sounds like. Good thing I'm way back here. This scares wildlife. They're not expecting it. And this one, you probably only need to make the noise. But if you're gesturing with it, you're very scary, right? Okay. These two, these are air horns that you get at the dollar store. This one will run out eventually, so it's not my favorite. And this one requires 2 hands. So it makes a great noise, but it's a little bit of effort. And if you have a dog, then it's sort of a lot. So, but it's literally $1 at the dollar store. And the point is you get the idea. It's loud and scary. Okay. Then there is this one. I really like this one. This is sort of a new one. It has a necklace, so it's hands-free, which I really like. And wait till you hear this. You don't even believe something. It's very lightweight. Right? Where's the ship? Because that's scary. Anyway, this is a really good one. And the one that Taranga has that we usually give with donations is this one. And it's sort of a mini version of this one. I'll make the noise for you. It's really loud, unexpected. It has a necklace. So anyway, this is something we have in it, and it's very fancy because it says wildlife repellent on it, which, you know, that's super sexy. Everybody wants that. Okay, and then I have some fun ones that are a little less practical, but just super fun. And, you know, when it's a contest to see who can be the most annoying, I always like to win. So I have added to my collection recently. I think the quarantine is getting to my head, if you know what I'm saying. I know, right? I love that one. I want to like incorporate this into the dinner routine. I don't want to have to yell for the kids. I just want to, so that might have other uses. I like that one. Then, okay, these are called thunder sticks. I don't know. You tell me, okay? If you saw me walking down the street like this, you tell me. Okay, so it doesn't even matter what the noise is. The fact that I am sitting here doing crazy things with big red sticks is enough to really honestly scare everyone away. So I really like those. They're fun. And then, right, you were wondering. I know you were. I've been practicing, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. Scary. And again, if the noise doesn't work, you can just run around doing this and that'll scare them all away, I promise. And then this is sort of one of my all-time favorites. If you were hiking, you would not need a giant one like this. You could just have a small one, and it could be hands-free on your belt, right? And what I'm talking about is an umbrella. So obviously, like, I'm not going to take this hiking. This is kind of big, unless I'm, you know, doubling it as a walking stick. That's not. But for the effect, I want to show you. So I've got it. Oh, I'm hiking. Oh, I've been out too long. It's Southern California. Thank goodness I have my umbrella. But wait, what if it's an off-leash dog or a scary predator of some kind, right? I think it's coming right for me. So now you have been officially hazed by the rainbow umbrella, and hopefully that got the point. So the point is, like, it's humane. It's not hurting anybody. It's just creating an unexpected situation, right? And it's making you feel empowered in the moment because it is safe to walk your dog. If you're using a good harness and a 6-foot leash and you're paying attention, there's a lot of different things you can do to increase your chances of protecting your pet, right? And so having some of these things around or thinking of your own, a lot of the ideas I've gotten have been from people who have sent them to me. I wouldn't have known about them otherwise. So if you have great ideas, let me know. And it's just about noise. It's just about annoyances. Like, why are they there? Why are they looking at you? What is it they're hoping to get out of the situation? And you just sort of loudly and boldly letting them know, not today, sir. So that is my story on humane hazing. If you have any questions, I'm at info@tarangaranch.org. And thank you so much for joining us today. And if you have any ideas for future topics for these live presentations, let me know, because this is fun. So thank you again for joining me today. And hopefully we'll see you next Thursday for our next live presentation at 3. Bye.